All right, good morning, Hillgrovians. This is Mr. Samir, ICT Manager for Hillgrove Secondary School. Now, today for CMP Plus Module 5, we will be going through the topic on understanding the DMA, on profiles and switching. Now, even though this would be a short video, note that this would affect our secondary 1 to 3 students as you will be using your iPads for your learning venture. So please listen carefully. Now, here is what we are going to go through today. First of all, we will be talking about the school default profiles, followed by profile switching. And lastly, we're going to look at some common reminders when chatting in the iPad support group. Now, during the school default profile, right, this consists of 3 different profiles that take place every day during your school curriculum hours. Now, what are the different profiles and when do they happen at which time of the day? These are the profiles. Number 1, we have the school hours profile, or we call it the during school hours profile. The second profile is known as the after school hours profile. And the last profile we have is the sleep hours profile. So I'll be going through this in detail first. What are the 3 profiles about? Now the first one, the school default profiles under during school hours. Now during school hours, this particular profile, when the profile is activated, the following should take place. First of all, you should see a change in the wallpaper, as what you can see on the right side of the screen. The next thing that should happen is the school app folders should be loaded. So you should see on the iPad where on the main screen you should be able to see the English folder, math folder, the science folder, and etc. and etc. Now, the third thing that should happen is some restrictions have been enabled. Now, these restrictions usually are your web filtering, web searches related restrictions that have been implemented by the school, and a few profile modifications that you are not able to do as well. And lastly, which I think is one of the most important ones, is that the internet is also enabled. So the Safari app would be available on the iPad for you to use. Now, take note that this is the standard profile that all of you students should be on when you are doing your work. Right now, when does the school hours or during school hours profile, when do they kick in? All right, now the activation time for this profile will happen at 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the days that it will be affected will be from Mondays all the way to Fridays. Okay, so Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Now, let's go to the next profile. The next profile is known as the after schools hours profile. Now, this profile, when it's activated, the following will occur. Stricter restrictions will be implemented, right? A few more restrictive profiles will kick in the iPad, in the use of the iPad. The important thing is that the internet will then be disabled and Safari will no longer be shown on the iPad, right? So the idea of this profile, okay, is to allow the students to continue to do your work. However, there is no access to the internet. Now, when is this profile activated? All right, so the activation time will show between 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and the days that are affected will be from Mondays all the way to Thursdays. Now, the last profile is one of a very popular profile. It is known as the sleep hours profile. Now, when this profile is activated, the following would occur. One, all apps on the iPads will be disabled from being used, and the iPad will then be locked in the mobile guidance app. So usually you would see the you would see the title or the sentence on your iPad stating to recharge your device, and if there are any official support that you require, the group link is there, right? So this iPad or this profile will remind students to charge your iPads before you go to sleep. So the sleep hours, when do they activate? All right, the timing is indicated as 11 p.m. all the way to 7 a.m. the next day. Right, on the activation days that the sleep hours will kick in will be from Mondays all the way to Thursdays. Right? So the common question then asked is, why are the after school hours and sleep hours profile not activated on Fridays? Okay, now the reason being is quite simple. All right, the DMA team, okay, we have a work schedule that will run from Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And therefore, the during school profile or during school hours profile will run throughout the weekends so that the number of profile switching will be lesser, right? If you do not understand that, just to put, sleep hours and after school hours will be disabled on Friday night all the way to Monday night. Okay, so when it comes to Monday night or from 9 p.m. onwards, the extra profiles will be activated again. But throughout the weekend, you should all be able to use your iPads. Now let's move on to our second topic, which is on profile switching and how it works. During the allocated time, the profiles should automatically switch. So as you can see, based on the profile switching cycle on the right, it starts from the during school hours profile, it will move on to after school hours, then it will move on to sleep hours, and repeat the process to during school hours again and again. So in a scenario, if you turn off your iPad during school hours, at the allocated time on Monday, and then you turn on your iPad again, all right, on the allocated time on Tuesday, okay, the iPad will still need to go through the same process and the entire cycle of going through the after school hours, sleep hours, and then it will load up the profile again. So just because if you turn off your iPad earlier on the day itself, it doesn't mean on the next morning when you turn on, you'll automatically get the correct profile. It will take a bit of time to do switching. Usually the switching will take between 5 to 10 minutes. All right, so just be patient on profile switching. So how do you make sure that the during school hours profile will get loaded properly on the iPad? Just make sure that in order to get the profile loaded, you must make sure your iPad is turned on, unlocked, and connected to a Wi-Fi network during the syncing period. So usually every morning during your morning routine, when Mr. Teo Yi An makes the announcements for you to continue with your morning routine, do take out your iPads, unlock them, turn them on, and make sure they are connected to a Wi-Fi, and let the syncing automatically take place between 5 to 10 minutes. So, how do you manually request for a profile switch? In case if you have lost or you have gone out from the iPad timing, all right, the syncing timing, and you lost it, you would like to raise a manual request, you can either scan the code that is on the lock screen of your iPad or go to the link on the lock app main page, all right, from using your mobile device. So you can use your mobile device, all right, go through the WhatsApp group link that are shown on the screens, all right, either through the QR code or through the web link itself. Once you are done, you can go in and state your request to switch. So we come to the last topic, which is on the iPad support reminders. These are a few things that you need to take note of, students, when you enter in the group chat with the staff. Number one, always greet the staff in the group chat like how you will be greeting teachers in your classrooms, right? we are also staff inside the group chat, so do give the basic form of respect to greet us. Right? Number two, make sure that you state your full name and class, and then you follow in by your issues. So there are many instances of the same name students, all right, belonging to different classes. Therefore, it is important for you to state in your full name. If you give a generic name like John or Muhammad or etc., right, there will be many instances of those names that will pop up in our search list, and therefore it'll make it harder for the admins to find out who you are. So you must indicate your full name. Okay, number three, do not loiter in the group chat. Now, once your issue has been resolved, you need to leave the group chat. The reason so is that the admins that are inside there would like to monitor the chat group to ensure that once the student leaves, that would mean the problem has been resolved. If you're still inside the group chat for more than a week, the admins will forcibly remove you from the group chat. And if you are removed from the group chat, you will not be able to enter the room again. So I repeat again, do not loiter in the group chat. Make sure you have stated your issues, and once the staff has resolved it, you can then leave the group chat, right? Do not stay in there for too long. If not, you will be kicked out from the group chat, right? And number four, always raise the issue again. Now, if your problem is not resolved within the next half an hour, always re-raise the issue again in the group chat. The admins have a lot of issues to resolve. So please do have patience as we try to get to your request. Now, we do apologize if we have missed your request earlier on. So in order to try to get it over and done with, re-raise the issue again so that we can look into it and try our best to resolve the matter. And with that, we have come to the end of the CMP Plus module. If you have any issues and any queries about what we have discussed today, you can find me, Mr. Samir, at the staff room, all right? Or you can alert your teachers about the issues, and your teachers can raise it up to the ICT manager as well, so that we can ensure that all of you have a fruitful day of learning ahead, right? Once again, this is your ICT manager, Mr. Samir. Thank you, and have a good day of learning ahead. Bye-bye.